Uncharted, the movie based on the PlayStation game of the same name, is set to drop pretty soon. Fans of the game cannot wait to see what director Ruben Fleischer has done with their characters. The movie's been in the works for some time, having first been talked about as early as 2008. Stay with us, as today we're talking about everything we know but the movie so far. First up, let's discuss the movie's plot. As far as we can tell from everything we've read so far, the movie will focus on the early days of Nate, and apparently it will serve as a sort of prequel to the game, with the whole story taking place before the events of 2007 game Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. Under the microscope will be how Drake came to be a treasure hunter, whilst also going into detail about his relationship with his sidekick Sully. The movie is equally the story of Sully and how he grew up into the character we know and love from the games. We'll also possibly learn about the whereabouts of Drake's brother Sam. In the movie, we're led to believe that Sam disappeared while searching for the gold of Ferdinand Magellan, so hopefully we'll find out what happened to him. The story of Magellan is set to feature heavily in the story as we see the life of Ferdinand Magellan and the first of Circumnavigation of the Globe, a book by Francis Henry Hill Gilliamart, shown in the official movie photos. We'll also hopefully learn more about Drake's supposed ancestry to Sir Francis Drake, who circumnavigated the globe shortly after Magellan's failed attempt. He was killed in the Philippines after attempting to convert the local population to Christianity. Bummer. What would you like to see covered in the movie? Let us know below. So who's in it? Stay with us to find out. Whilst we don't know the entire cast list just yet, nor whether or not all the characters portrayed in the game will make an appearance in the movie, we do know who the key players will be. In the lead role of Nate Drake is Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland. Nate, as we know from the games, is a treasure hunter, and fans are delighted Holland found time in his busy Spidey schedule to portray Drake. Our main character's mentor and father figure, Victor Sully Sullivan, will be played by none other than Hollywood seasoned veteran Mark Wahlberg, who's appeared in a ton of movies from 2010's The Fighter to the more recent Netflix movie Spencer Confidential. When the movie was initially muted back in 2010, Wahlberg was set to star as Drake, but obviously he's much more suited to the father figure role now due to his age. Teddy Gabriel, who most recently appeared as Joe Goldberg's target in hit Netflix show You, will play the role of Braddock. 2022 is going to be a big year for Gabrielle, as she has also been cast in the upcoming series Jigsaw. Hollywood royalty Antonio Banderas will also make an appearance as Mancada, the film's antagonist, who appeared in the hit 2011 horror thriller The Skin I Live In. Completing the main cast as Nate's love interest, Chloe Frazer is Sophia Ali, most famous for her role as Dr. Dahlia Quadi in Grey's Anatomy. Who are you most excited to see in this one? When can we expect to see it in theaters then? Stay tuned to find out. As we previously mentioned, it's been a long ride from the film's conception to the eve of its release, which is where we currently are. Having first been discussed back in 2008, it's been 14 years in the making, so it's safe to say fans are rightly excited about seeing this one. At multiple times, it looked like the film was destined to never happen, as there have been multiple different writers as well as directors. In 2014, Sony announced that the movie would be releasing the following year, which obviously never happened. As it hit delay after delay, fans then expected it to drop in 2016, but again, it experienced delays. Director Travis Knight then left the project, so fans were kept waiting another 3 years before the pandemic came at the end of 2019. Some fans then speculated that the project was cursed and destined to never happen, but it has now been officially revealed that Uncharted will finally be released in the US on February 18, 2022. If you happen to be British, you can see the film a week earlier, as it's released on February 11 in the UK. Will you be heading to the movie theater to see Uncharted when it finally arrives? We certainly will be. And how about a trailer? Of course, the most recent trailer dropped just before Christmas and starts by showing Nate as his day job. Well, night job, that is. He works as a bartender in a high-class bar. It is there he meets Wahlberg's character of Sully, and the pair get to talking. And obviously, the conversation soon shifts to treasure hunting. Sully reveals to Nate that their meeting might not have been by chance, as he knows his brother and Nate reveal his plans of following in Ferdinand Magellan's footsteps and heading taking off in search of his treasure, which we find out from Sully is worth around $5 billion in today's money. The pair then plot their trip around the world in search of the gold, and at one point, Sully tells Nate, if we find that gold, we find him too. Obviously talking about his brother. We wonder if Nate's brother will have a big role to play in the movie. We then see the pair head off on their quest and are introduced to characters such as Chloe and Moncada. Towards the end of the trailer, Nate finds himself in a sticky situation when he's dragged out of an airplane by some falling cargo before obviously climbing back up to the safety of the plane. Pretty ridiculous. It then ends with him being knocked back out of the plane, hurtling towards the ground. Make sure to tune in when it drops to see if he survives this nightmare ordeal. Have you seen the trailer? What did you think of it? Let us know below. A new TV spot for the upcoming movie now? Stay tuned. It's been confirmed this week that Sony have agreed to release sneak peeks of the movie in the upcoming weeks prior to its release. The previously released glimpses have given us a better idea of what might unfold in the story, without actually ruining the film, and it's also shown fans the chemistry at the center of the movie between Sully and Nate actors Wahlberg and Holland. The ad, which is only around 30 seconds long, comprises a lot of stuff we've already seen in the trailer, so we don't have to worry about spoilers. The ad tries to focus more on the comedy aspects of the movie. The official synopsis of the film is really quite telling and reads, street smart thief Nathan Drake, Tom Holland, is recruited by seasoned treasure hunter Victor Sully Sullivan, Mark Wahlberg, to recover a fortune lost by Ferdinand Magellan 500 years ago. What starts as a heist job for the duo becomes a globe-trotting, white-knuckle race to reach the prize before the ruthless Moncada, Antonio Banderas, who believes he and his family are the rightful heirs. If Nate and Sully can decipher the clues and solve one of the world's oldest mysteries, they stand to find $5 billion in treasure and perhaps even Nate's long-lost brother. But only if they can learn to work together. Sounds pretty awesome, right? What's your favorite movie adapted from a game? Let us know below. And finally, a link between the movie and beloved James Bond franchise. Star of the show Tom Holland has recently revealed how the Uncharted film actually came about, and it's pretty interesting. He told fans during an interview that he was actually pitching an idea to Sony about an idea he had for a new movie surrounding the early days of the fabled James Bond character. The studio had other ideas. He said, I had a meeting after or during Spider-Man 2 Far From Home with Sony to pitch this idea of a young Bond film that I'd come up with. He went on to say that the film would tell the origin story of Bond, but the studio weren't particularly interested as it didn't particularly make sense, admitting that it was more of a fantasy of a young actor. He also said the Bond estate weren't particularly interested either, but it did spark the idea of doing the Drake origin story instead. The action movie star won't be playing a young Bond, but he will be getting his fix of adventure in the upcoming movie, as there's more than enough action in it. What is your favorite role so far in the young actor's career? Let us know your thoughts below. As always, thanks for tuning in today, guys, and remember to stop by again next time for some more fun revelations. Also, why not do us a solid? Share this video with any Holland Uncharted fans you know of. Adios, amigos.